Well, first of all, I want to say a huge thank you for inviting me to present these books. It's a massive honor as someone as a kid who grew up devouring children's science books. I know how important children's science books are. So to be asked to do the STEAM Children's 2020 winners, to be asked to present the award is a real thrill for me. And actually, I've got to say that the four books that have been chosen, I cannot think of a better four books that represents the joy and the intrigue and the excitement that these types of books give. So I think the judges they've done a really difficult job choosing. I'm glad I'm not judging them. That's all I can say. But I think they've got it bang on. They've picked four brilliant books. And also, they're four completely different books as well. I think that's why I'm really impressed by the judges' decision. So I'm gonna take you through them one by one, if that's okay. The first book is the winner of the early years category, and it's this book by Ken Wilson Max, and it is, if you can see that, it is Astro Girl. And it's a brilliant story of a young girl who dreams of becoming an astronaut. And it's a wonderful story. It's a simple story. It's beautifully illustrated. And it goes to show, well, I guess the central theme of it is follow your dreams. If you want to do something, you can do it. It's simple, but it's beautiful storytelling with a little twist in it as well. And it's a book that young kids are going to love because the illustrations are so wonderful. They're so vivid. So I think this is a worthy book to win. Also, for me personally, because I'm a big space fan. So anything to do with space, I think that's brilliant. So there you go. That is Astro Girl, Ken Wilson Max. Congratulations to you, Ken. Absolutely fantastic. Writing simple books, writing books for young children, you might think it looks easy, but actually keeping that attention is very difficult indeed. And I think this is absolutely superb. So congratulations. That's the winner of the early years book. The next book, a particular favorite of mine, Lightning Mary. So this is for the middle grade book, Lightning Mary. And it's a book, well, it's an adventure book, but it's a book really about a real person. So Mary Anning, who was famous for discovering fossils on the Jurassic coast. And people often ask me, like, why are you interested in science? And I actually think that really at the heart of science, the joy of science, if you like, is that idea of just picking up stones to see what's underneath. That's kind of what science is. In fact, I've got one here. There you go, from the Jurassic coast, a pair of trilobites. I was absolutely obsessed by fossil hunting when I was a kid. So this story about Mary Anning, who was who discovered so much about fossil hunting, is absolutely wonderful. And it's it's a novel that puts a female scientist in the spotlight, and I think that's a really fantastic thing to do. So this is the middle grade book. Anyone who loves science, anyone who loves discovery, anyone who loves fishing around in rock pools or turning over stones is going to absolutely love this book. So Anthea Simmons, congratulations. I think a lot of young people are going to be thrilled to read that. So thank you very much indeed. That's the middle grade book. Right, and then a complete kind of handbrake turn, very different book for the young adult book. And I think this is a great example of how to write for young adults by Nick Lake. It's called Nowhere on Earth, the story that begins with a plane crash. We often talk about STEM, but this is a book that really addresses the idea of STEAM. It puts the A into STEM, the art. So it's essentially an adventure book, but really the sort of creativity in it, the ideas that flow in this book are absolutely wonderful. And it's going to keep young adults gripped because it is a wonderful adventure. There's lots going on with it as well. It's a fantastic example of creative writing, of just bringing stories to life. Particularly young people perhaps aren't reading enough books. I think they're going to get really absorbed into this one. So this is Nowhere on Earth by Nick Lake. Fantastic book. That is the young adult category winner. The information category winner, again, this is the thing, science, when we talk about science writing, science does so much. Science can fill us with wonder. From a young age, it can tell us stories, but it can also, of course, give us the answers to questions. And the winner of the information category book does exactly that. Stefan Gates, who's a fantastic science communicator. If you've ever seen Stefan Gates live on stage, he's absolutely brilliant, as you know. And this book is called Science You Can Eat. And it's all about The Science of Food. And it takes you on the most extraordinary journeys, answering questions that you'd never even asked because you hadn't even dreamed of the questions. That's how Stefan's imagination works. As well as that, of course, it's going to be absolutely a lovely book just to flick through because it's beautifully illustrated. It's got that wonderful kind of multimedia of illustration, of photograph, of short bits of text. And, you know, Stefan's writing is so brilliant. It just makes these pictures come alive and makes these ideas come alive. And you're going to look, every page you open, you're going to be exposed to ideas that you didn't even know about. So this is a brilliant book in the information category there. Stefan Gates, Science You Can Eat, Putting What We Eat Under the Microscope. And I think that's a fantastic book for the information category. Now, out of those 4 books, how do you choose an overall winner? Well, luckily, I didn't have to do that because I wouldn't be able to choose. And I don't know how the judges did it. I'm sure there was fights and all kinds of things going on. But they have chosen a winner. 4 very, very different books, 4 books that do completely different things, 4 books for different audiences. But the winner is, drum roll please, Stefan Gates. There you go. Stefan Gates, Science You Can Eat is the overall winner. It's a book that encapsulates all the things that good science writing is about. Engaging, entertaining, fun. It also gives young people something to do. This is a book that you can get your hands dirty. There's stuff you can do. You can try stuff out. And at the heart of science, of course, is the notion of experiment. And this book does all of those things. So Science You Can Eat, congratulations, Stefan Gates, the winner of the STEAM Children's Book Prize 2020.